Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Griffis, and I'm a designer and developer with the Prosper Group. Today we're here to talk about, what do voters see when they come to your website, and are you communicating with them in a way that you think you are, or are you missing the mark completely? And when you kind of ask that question, are you missing the mark? That's probably one of my favorite questions of the panel. That's something I'd really like to ask candidates sometimes because, they suggest Jessica here and her wonderful work in 08 with her team, and the Obama designs that kind of set this standard of these design principles and these features that everybody just seems to want to corner us as designers and kind of implement these features through all of their websites. So what's happening is every candidate wants X feature or Y feature from candidate A and candidate B. Before you know it, they're missing the mark completely. So one thing we commonly forget is that your supporters are your supporters, and they're probably not going to respond to this cookie cutter approach. So we really need to get back to creativity and just kind of tailoring the experience to your supporters, to encourage them to engage. So in my mind, a cohesive web presence starts with two things, and that is being thoughtful and being objective. So being thoughtful is knowing your audience and designing your features around them to feed them something that they're familiar with and encourage them to engage with your content. And being objective is setting goals that you can measure and that you can read the data and find out what people are doing, and again use that data to present information in ways that they are familiar with. So finally, being objective is understanding that your supporters have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of attention, and it's our responsibility as designers to use that attention wisely. So I'd like to start by showing you a couple examples of a couple different clients we've had. Richard Murdoch is running for Senate in Indiana. We had the original goal of increasing interaction with local features on the website, limiting the amount of external links, and building his email list through a variety of ways to sign up, some direct and some indirect. So here's our initial design. We have a very traditional two-column layout with a traditional navigation. We have as you can see, we have a very limited amount of external links. We have a way to get to him on Facebook and Twitter, and the only other external link is to donate. And I don't think any of us are going to lose any sleep over more fans or followers or more money coming in the door. As you can see, there's a lot of interaction going on the navigation bar. There's a lot of internal clicks going throughout the site, and what ended up happening is we had about 5 minutes and 20 seconds per user spent on the site, learning about Richard and engaging with his content. People seem to love these endorsement boxes, and it's an advantage for us because it not only builds our email list, but it's something that they enjoy interacting with. And we also had a much lower bounce rate of about 35%. So we were only losing 35% of traffic on their initial hit on the website. And our second example is the Wisconsin Republican Party, who came to us that they're very proud of their Facebook and Twitter following, and they really wanted to put large emphasis on their social networks and continue to build that following. And we did that in the layout by providing a variety of sharing and following tools throughout the website. And the result from that was we obviously had a much higher bounce rate of about 75%, a lower time spent on the site of about 2 minutes, but it did significantly grow their Facebook and Twitter following. So here's our layout. Again, it's a very traditional two-column layout with traditional navigation, but there's this massive Wisconsin GOP social pushing people to go to Twitter and Facebook. We have the connect with Wisconsin GOP with direct links to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and to become a fan and to follow this GOP, the entire boxes themselves are actually linked to the social network. So unless they're directly liking or directly tweeting the website, they end up going directly to that page. And as you can see in this heat map, it's a little hard to see. But that's because with Murdoch, there was so much interaction on the navigation that really stood out. Whereas this has more, the clicks are more distributed throughout the page. And along the bottom there, you can kind of see the glow towards the middle, towards the bottom. That's those, become a fan and follow, and the additional follow on the right. You can see that, they're just much better distributed throughout the site. And then just for the sake of conversation, I threw in this hoaxer screenshot because, we often see that these rotating images are, the main focal point of the site. But I found this interesting because that was the focal point of the site, and there really wasn't anything going on outside of that. So it kind of baffles me when I get to websites and I see this, these slideshows that have no controls over, what you want to see or what you want to do. And if you can't control it, you're kind of giving your supporters a burger without the bun. You're wasting some valuable real estate when you're not allowing them to kind of control their own experience and let them see what they want to see. And here's another example, where the idea was great. We have these, this map that shows an overwhelming amount of supporters, and the general idea is to put your name on the map, but some voters might expect to be able to read these messages and see the other nice things that voters are saying about their candidate. But then when you go to open it, the message is cut off halfway through. So again, you're kind of delivering half of a product. That's difficult to consume. So what are visitors expecting? They're expecting to be able to donate to your candidate. They're expecting to be able to learn about your candidate and potentially get involved. And most importantly, they want to be able to connect with your candidate. So with all this in mind, are you hitting or missing the mark? You want to be thoughtful of your traffic and know what they want and be able to deliver that to them and shape their experience that benefits your cause. Thank you.